So today's class, you can see, is from the chair. So I was thinking about this, and I have posted a few videos before on the chair exercises, but since posting those videos, even more people are coming to me who want to do Pilates but aren't able to get on their hands and their knees, or also they're not able to come to even lying down on the mat. So if you fall into one of those categories, you can still do some of the Pilates exercises from sitting down. And we're just going to go through some of the basics now. So whether you join the class online with me and you need to have a modification for some of the exercises, which will be the chair, or whether you just want to practice some chair stuff when you're at home, these are the kind of exercise I recommend. So we'll begin. First of all, think about the position of your pelvis being in neutral. So neutral, and feel free to get your hands involved. Okay, I like to feel into what position my body is in, and maybe you have a mirror nearby as well, so you might even be able to see in the mirror. And with neutral, just close your eyes, a few deep breaths, feet flat on the ground, shoulders relaxed. Just taking a nice big deep breath into the stomach. And as you exhale, just blowing the air away. And again, deep breath in and through the nose. And out through the mouth. So you're nice and connected from your sit bones. And now just visualize an anchor attached to your tailbone, and you're sending the anchor down. And as you send the anchor down, you gain the length from the back of the neck and the top of your head. So already you've created a stretch and lengthening into the spine. A few more deep breaths. And then opening the eyes, just going to tuck the tailbone underneath. So we're creating a little tilt with the pelvis. So we're tucking the tailbone underneath, and then pelvis to neutral, connecting from the sit bones, pulling the stomach in, lifting from the breastbone and top of the head. And then again, we're just going to tuck the tailbone underneath. So we're tucking the pelvis underneath. And then neutral. And when you're tucking the pelvis underneath, you can really draw the stomach in. So it trains the stomach muscles to come in. Lifting from the top of the head, rib cage in. Breath in to prepare. And exhale as you tuck the pelvis underneath. And this can be done, you could just do this when you're sat at a desk, for example, maybe on a long journey. If I'm stuck on a plane for a number of hours, I don't like it. I don't like to not be able to move. So I will just start to do some exercises like this. And we're just tucking and neutral. Okay, next bit of the exercise. So the pelvis starts in neutral, and then we're going to make the tilt in the reverse direction. So you're arching into the back, and then neutral, and then tucking the pelvis underneath. Neutral, and then arching into the back. And deep breaths. So breath in as you create the arch in the back, and exhale as you tuck the pelvis underneath. And then we just get into this really lovely rhythm where we can start to exaggerate the movement a bit more. So it's not just the pelvis, we can kind of move into this spine a bit more. And as we're creating the dip in the back, you can really lift from the breastbone. Shoulders relax down the back. And deep breaths. Breath in and exhale. And then pelvis to neutral. So another great stretch and exercise. If you think about when we go into prayer stretch, it's a really nice stretch for lengthening into the spine. And with this one, it's a bit like a combination of prayer stretch and roll down. So let's start by thinking of it as a bit like the roll down, and then when we're folding forwards, it can take the place as if you can't do prayer stretch. So starting with the head lifted nice and tall, lifting from the breastbone, chin down, and then we just start to roll down through the spine. And it doesn't have to be any speed or any force at all. You just roll down and relax. And just have this lovely stretch in the spine. And then pulling the stomach in, you slowly restep the spine all the way back up. Arms over the head, lovely big clap. And hands to the side. And off we go. Again, hands to the front, chin down, and then rolling down. And then pulling in from the stomach as you slowly restack the spine all the way back up. Arms over the head, lovely big clap. And hands to the side. And when we roll forwards, we can always take our time as well. So what I sometimes like to do, and actually I'll take a cushion to show you, is it's quite nice if you have say a big fluffy cushion like this one, you can just roll forwards over the cushion to get yourself nice and comfy. That's it, chin down, and then rolling down as you fold forwards, and deep breaths. Just relaxing here. And one time I taught this stretch to somebody who was quite flexible, and they missed the point of the exercise, and they were trying to get really close to the ground, and they were like, yeah, but look, I can get my hands all the way to the ground, and like I'm really super flexible. It's not the point of the exercise. The point of the exercise is so that we can just relax and fold forwards without any overstretching, where we allow the spine just to release in its own time. And then stomach held in, and we slowly restack the spine back up, all the way back up, arms over the head, and lovely big clap. Relaxing the arms by our side. Okay, so next one, I'll just move the pillow out the way. We're going to work into the thoracic spine. This one, if we have the pelvis in neutral, and then keep an eye on nice and connected from the sit bones, lifting from the breastbone, arms on top of each other, shoulders relaxed with twist, to look over the shoulder, straightening out the arm to look at the hand, breath in, and exhale as you bring the arm back through the center. So if you were standing doing this one, you'd want to make sure your hips were facing forwards, almost like you have headlights on your hips. But when you're sat down, you don't have so much of a challenge because obviously you're in seated. But what you do want to think about is the rib cage. So you wouldn't want to say stretch out the arm and then be really flaring into the rib cage. You instead think of drawing up and in, lifting from the breastbone and reaching out. The other thing I tend to sometimes see when people do this exercise is their shoulders Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. That's it. As you do the deep breathing. Deep breath in and exhale. That's it. And then back through the center. Okay, next one. Fingertips onto the shoulders. We bring the elbows in, up and out to the side. That's it. We've got this lovely movement into the shoulders. And then reversing the direction. And then relaxing the arms down. Okay, so next one, I'm going to actually move the stool back a little bit and I'm going to have a look at the feet. So we can do a foot float, and a foot float is where we just lift the foot a tiny amount away from the floor. So if I spin around this way, you will see that when I go to lift the foot, I can really engage my stomach muscles and I don't change the position of the pelvis at all. So if you need to, just placing the hands in the pelvic area, take a deep breath in and exhale, tiny foot float and place back down. Breath in, exhale, tiny foot float. So we're keeping the pelvis in neutral. We're really using our stomach muscles as we go to lift the leg. So this, if you were say lying on the mat, you'd be lying on the mat with the legs bent, feet flat, and you would then say do your foot floats like that. But if you can't get to lying down on the mat, obviously we're still engaging the deep abdominals. Okay, perfect everyone. So, next one. We are going to just bring opposite hand to shoulder, so feel really steady through the feet and the legs, and you're going to sweep and swish away, and deep breaths. That's it, and then we're going to bring opposite hand to opposite knee. So these are really good for our coordination. It creates a really good connection with the brain and the body. So once again, really work the stomach muscles. As you're going to lift the knee, you can really pull the stomach in. So you're keeping the pelvis in neutral, not kind of leaning back at all, and that helps you to work the stomach muscles more. Okay, so next one I'm thinking about, we could do a thread the needle, okay? So let's try a thread the needle using the stool, or at least using the top, okay? So I'm just gonna, first of all, I'm going to actually, first of all I'll show it from here, and next I can show it from there. So we would bend the legs, because if you're like this, it's maybe gonna, I don't know, be a bit restrictive, but if we bend the legs, we bring the arm up, breath in, and exhale, hand comes through the gap. Head turns on its side, and then we place the hand straight back. Same thing on the other side, so you bring the arm up, we bring the hand through the gap, palm faces up, bring the ear all the way towards the stool, and place the hand back. So this is the same as if you was on your hands and your knees. And obviously we're strengthening our legs more by not resting the knees on the mat. And then if I show you from here, same thing again, but you could be up with the arm and then through. So if you can't quite manage placing the hands on the stool, or you don't have a stool nearby, this is another option. You could then bend into the legs, same thing again. And the same can be said as well for the cat stretch. So with the hands on the stool and the legs bent, you can tuck the imaginary tail between the legs, stretching up, work through neutral, and dipping into the back. So breath in and exhale. Breath in and exhale. Just get this lovely flowing movement through the spine. So you can see it's the same as a standard cat stretch. You can even bend into the legs a bit more if you want to really challenge yourself. Just make sure that the shoulders are away from the ears. So nice and relaxed through the shoulders, not like this. So not like that. So you push down through the hands. And then once again from here, you can do the hula hooping cat, so a full circle through the pelvis. And then reversing the direction. The possibilities are endless. See, all of the exercises can be modified if you just know how. And then pelvis to neutral. Okay, next one's lift and twist. So lift and twist would be better if it was done from a sofa or a kind of wider chair. So the idea of lift and twist is that we get this really nice twist through the thoracic spine. So we bring opposite hand to opposite knee, and this is why I was saying if you were say on a comfy chair, you'd be able to rest your hand on the chair and then back through the centre. Same thing on the other side. And back through the centre. So opposite hand to opposite knee. And then back through the centre. Well, brilliant everyone, so thank you for joining me with this video. I will do another video as well, so this just gives you a little bit of an insight. Next video we can work a little bit more into the spine and the pelvis and the legs. And for now, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the exercises. I hope you get lots of benefit out of the video. And I will be seeing you soon. Take care.